and welcome back to Trim the Fat, a podcast designed to help us on our emotional, our spiritual, and our physical journey. The fat, the fears, the anxieties, and the traumas that somehow keep us stuck from going to our full potential. I'm Dr. Rhonda Garner, and today I have with me Dr. Ted Lyons. He is all the things. He is a father, he is a husband, he's a business owner, he's an entrepreneur, he is a pharmacist, and all other things that I'm going to let him introduce himself and get to know him. And thanks for being on one today.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm Dr. Ted Lyons, and as Dr. Rhonda just said, I am pretty much a jack of all trades. I think you don't know too many pharmacists that also have a CDL and have a trucking company.
No, I don't know that. Now, I do know one that's a pharmacist and a pilot.
See, there we go.
But I like this. Okay.
Look. One of the things I always tell my kids is that you have the real men. We move more than one muscle, and we keep more than one hustle. As long as that hustle is legitimate.
That's true.
But yeah. So currently, my wife and I, we're both pharmacists, and we own ShotRx. ShotRx, we started in 2021 with the pandemic, and we went all over the city of Memphis and Shelby County, vaccinating in all the neighborhoods and talking to people, just telling them everything was really about what was going on with the pandemic, what COVID was, what the vaccinations were, then vaccinating people versus just saying, "Hey, roll up your sleeve,
give me
a shot."
Yeah.
So that's been my passion all my life, is to help people. So going out and doing that was a call for us. I actually came off the road, off from a trucking company, because they had 3 trucks on the road, was doing everything. And God spoke and said, "No, this pandemic is here. I want you all to open up a vaccination clinic." Now, I tried to be almost obedient. Now, that's a whole sermon by itself. I try to be almost obedient. I said, "Baby, God said we're gonna open up a clinic, and I'm gonna open the clinic up for you, and then you're gonna, run. I'm set it up for you. I'm gonna keep driving these trucks all over and keep these truckers rolling out here and everything." Yeah, about 2 days later, another truck hit me. And so I called her back and I said, "Yeah, so we're gonna open up this clinic." Like I said.
Yes. Well, that's it. That was probably something to get you directed so you could be a big part of it.
Yeah, sometimes God got to go on and nudge in the right direction.
Yeah, that's not going to be nudge, but you were okay.
Oh, yeah, I was fine. Yeah, it hurt my shoulder, but I was okay. Came on back. We opened up the clinic, and the rest is history. We've been taking care of folks here in Memphis now for 3 years, and we've expanded from just vaccinations to where we're a full family clinic, and we're also fully mobile. Yes. The state of Tennessee saw what we were doing, and they asked us to do it for other counties as well. So we do vaccinations all over West Tennessee.
Oh, congratulations. I did not know that part. I know I saw you in America a couple months ago, but I did not know this part. This is great. Yeah. And I've been seeing it grow. Okay, so ShotRx. That's your thing? Okay, fatherhood. How many children do you have?
We have 3 amazing children. Taryn is our oldest. She's in D.C. as a graphic designer. She's very artsy and everything. Okay. So she's working for a major company out of New York, but they allow her to be at home in D.C. because she's just that good. Okay. So she's in D.C. having a great time and doing that. She's about to get married. She just told us I met her fiance and everything. He asked me if he could marry her. So she's about to get married in about a year or so. And then we have our middle child, Ted. He's Theodore Lyons III. He's down at William Carey. He's he's about to go into DO school. He's actually in a master's program there, and he'll either enter DO school at William Carey, but he's also been accepted to Baptist DO school here in Memphis. So we're very proud of him for that. And then our baby girl, Tia, she's at Jackson State, which that is Ted and my alma mater. So she's down at Jackson State. Studying psychology. She wants to be a psychiatrist. She said, "Dad, we need more psychiatrists in the Black community." I said, "Baby, you just don't know." Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Wait, this is so good. So, that's part of some of the discussion. So right now, when I'm hearing you say and tell about your kids, it's really a good time to just brag about it. It boasts to you too, you and Miracle as parents.
Yes.
Because 3 kids, sometimes it's kind of hard to get just one to do do and go down that path. Yeah. But that's just all congratulations to all of it. And I know they see that you strive for success, so that makes them want to strive for success. So when we get into, before I get into the role models and all that type of thing, anything else, because I know, like you said, jack of all trades, anything else that you done? Okay, I know pharmacists, I know, and your husband, I know you and America go back way long time.
Well, we met in Vegas in 98. What happened in Vegas next day? Nothing happened. We just talked. We literally talked till the sun came up. But then after we left Vegas, she went back to Xavier's when she graduated from pharmacy school. I was working on my PhD at UT, and I'd already graduated from pharmacy school. So we just talked and everything. She came up here and never separated.
I love that. And then, people that they hear her name, they hear your name.
Yeah.
It's a do. I love that. So again, that's another role model for relationships and things like that. So the father, the mother, the relationship thing, the entrepreneur, and going after your dreams, another role model type thing. Do you now in church?
That's center for me for everything. You heard what I said. God told me.
Yeah.
So I've actually, and while I was out on the road driving, this is I think why God really had me out there. One of my friends who actually used to work with Dr. Oz and some other folks, I didn't know it at the time. He would watch my Thursday and my Sunday messages on Facebook. On Thursday, I do a live message called Breaking Bread, and then on Sundays, I do God in 30 Seconds. Okay. And so he called me up. I'm out there on the road. He said, "Hey, got a lot of content. This would be great for a book." I'm like, everybody tell me I should write a book, whatever. But I said, no. He said, "No, I've traveled with these folks. They go to my webpage and look, all the people whose books I have published, you need to publish a book. You won't charge me anything or whatever for it." But I always tell folks, don't do that. When folks say they'll do it for free, I said, no. I said, "What's your regular fee?" And I'm going to pay. He said, "No." I said, "No, what's your regular fee?" So he told me. I paid him, and he showed me how to publish my book on Amazon, on Kindle on Amazon. Published the book, God in 30 Seconds with Dr. Ted Lyons. It's still on Amazon. Became an Amazon bestseller almost overnight.
Okay.
I don't really ever talk about it because it's ministry for me. It's just like I just did it because God had told me to do it a long time ago. I was being hard-headed. And so when he told me, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it while I'm out here on the road. And I did it. We published it. The first day it came out, it was like out of 10,000 books that were released, it was like in the top 1,000. Like, that's good, guys. That's really cool. By the end of the day, it was like in the top 50. The next morning it was number 5, and by lunchtime it was number 1, and it stayed number 1 for 3 weeks. Yes. The Pope had released a book. He was number 14. Max Buchanan had released 2 books in Advent season. So he released 2 books. He was like number 3 and 4. And then somebody else, I stayed number 1 against all those big boys for 3 weeks. We have to talk about it.
I know you don't. So I'm the same way. The wins, we got to do better on sharing.
I know I'm bad at that.
I'm bad at that. And my friends tell me, they say, "Why do you play yourself down?" And then we shouldn't do that. Right, we shouldn't do that because again, we're not boasting people, so people will know that we're not boasting, but it's good to share. So so we can tell God in 30 Seconds is on Amazon. Yes. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna send you a picture when I get it.
All right, great, thank you.
So let's get into it. Right, so we're gonna talk about. I want you to talk about you did already kind of harp on talk about it a little bit. What started ShotRx, and God told you to do it, and you make the moves. But a lot of people don't know what was the main drive. Like I know you probably was like, okay, I don't like me. If I could get something that was going to be flourishing and stuff right now, I'm not saying I hate pharmacy. I love pharmacy, and I love helping people. That's what I embrace. I love helping people. But if it was a way for me to do something else without getting in the negative, I would do it. So what was something that was...
Well, I'm right on there with you. First of all, sometimes you got to take the loss. You got to get in the negative. Yeah. Losses are lessons. I tell my kids that I used to coach and stuff too. Another part, probably. I used to coach, train people, do all that. And I tell them sometimes losses are lessons. Not sometimes, almost all the time. Losses are lessons. So you got to be willing to take the loss. America and I had opened up a successful pharmacy, actually called Medi-Cal Pharmacy, back in 2007. But we didn't stay open for 3 years. We learned a lot of lessons in that. We had a bad location. It was broken into literally one December. We were broken into every Friday, every Saturday night in December for a month when we had opened it up and everything. But we took a lot of losses in that. So when this came around, almost 10 years later, 11 years later, we decided to open up and say, you know what? We're going to do it just like God said. We learned a lot of lessons. We're going to follow exactly what he said do. So we went to the location he said go to. We opened up. We went 10 toes in, and then the rest is history. But a lot of the lessons we learned in the loss are helping us be successful today. So sometimes you got to take the L. I tell folks, I have 7 interns from HBCUs. God bless us so much that we're actually able to bring in interns and pay them real salaries like my regular staff over the summer. And I chose to have HBCU students who are originally from the Memphis area, whether it's North Mississippi or Memphis or surrounding area, to come back and let's give you an internship.
Yeah.
You're going to be paid for the summer and you're going to learn skills and all these wonderful things.
They love it when they find out getting paid.
Oh, they find out getting paid and then they get to stay at home. They don't have to spend their money on rent or anything. So because a lot of times they don't get the opportunities that a lot of other people get because their parents own clinics or their uncle owns a dental office or whatever the case may be. So I want them to have the same opportunities so that when they get ready to apply for medical school, dental school, pharmacy school, physical, I have a kid in physical, want to go to physical therapy school, they'll be able to say, I worked for 1.5 years at ShotRx, a family health clinic in Memphis, Tennessee, and all the charity work stuff, it'll all be on their resume.
Everything. So
they come back, and one of the things I tell them is that, even when you're killing it, it's 2 L's in it. Every now and again, you got to take 2 losses, even when you're killing it. You know, so you got to understand it's L's in the win, it's L's in the losses, but they help you win.
Yeah,
so
that's so true.
That's it.
That's so true. I love everything all the stuff that you're saying. So back to now you as the man that you are, you're going back. And did you have any people in your life, like role models that said, okay, that you looked up to? They probably didn't have to say a word, but you just looked at their drive and their hard work and their determination, even if they never met, but you just saw it. Is there anybody that?
And you didn't want to disappoint no matter what.
Yeah.
My mom, number one.
Okay.
My mom, 5'1.5". You can never take her 1/2 inch away. You don't say that half, she get mad.
I say 5'1". I get it.
She don't want 1/2 inch, but 5'1.5". Martha Lou Sanders, she never ever faltered. I was born actually in Missouri. My sister Dr. Tiny Lyons, who's a dentist here, she was born in Mississippi. My mom and dad met in Mississippi and everything. Lived about 8 miles away from each other. He went to Jackson State. She went to Valley. They met, had Tanya. Then they moved. They both teachers. They moved up to Missouri, and then I was born.
Okay.
Now, teachers even in that day, 1972. He could have lived a decent life, great, whatever, but because he was an abusive man, gambler, womanizer, alcoholic, I was born in a trailer park.
Okay.
A lot of folks don't know that. I was born in a trailer park. Okay. So for the first 2.5 years of my life, we in a trailer park until my mom finally ran away from him and like, look, that's enough. Tired of not having food, tired of getting whooped, all this stuff. I'm running away. Yeah. So my favorite aunt who's passed on now, Brookie, and my favorite cousins, that's their mom. She came and sat in the trailer, waited till my daddy got home with a butcher knife and a .38.
Okay, what blues song?
Hey, I don't know what blues song playing, but my mama got over to Illinois, and she'd already snuck over there and got in a little bitty house. House probably about 900 square feet, and it just wasn't in the projects. Y'all not staying in the projects. She got over there, got that, and she worked. He ended up getting murdered about 2 or 3 years later, and she ended up with all his debt and everything. But she still worked to keep us from being in a project. She still shared everything she had, loved on people. Even now, her students online on Facebook and everything, they tell your mama I said hey, and things like that, because she's going through dementia now and everything. And I go over and give her medicine twice a day and massage her back in the morning because her back always hurt. But that woman right there, that was my role model. She was mama and daddy to me growing up. She went to every one of my football games, baseball games, track meets, everything, football, basketball, baseball, track. She was right there. She ran a touchdown with me one day. I ran it back. I got to the end. They said, Tish, mama almost caught you. The rest of them dudes couldn't do it, but your mama almost caught you. So she was my number one role model. And then I had 2 coaches, Coach Woods and oh wow, I can see his face. Coach Ball. Okay. Coach Woods and Coach Ball. This was Carroll High School in Carroll, Illinois. Okay,
I'm from Illinois, but I went to school at Carbondale.
He was an hour away from me. That's why I played my All-Star games at Carbondale. Okay,
but I'm born in Chicago, raised in Chicago.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as you come off the bridge, that's Carroll right there. So they took me under their wing like I was their own son. So Coach Baldwin never had any sons, so he called me and my crew his sons. He had 4 girls. He's like, I ain't trying no more. He had 4 girls, so we were his son. Yes, and then Coach Woods was my football coach, And he always said that football was made for me because, growing up with an abusive father, and I'm the only man in the house. We in Illinois, none of my family's up there. I was always getting into stuff. I was really intelligent and smart and everything. I was fighting and everything else. Mm-hmm. And he said, this is a place where you release all that anger, and then you don't go to jail. He said, so you love football. You go play football. So I got out there and I was amazing in football and just decided not to play when I went to college.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, you regret not playing?
I did for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
But then I realized I had a whole nother direction in life. I told my son the same thing. I said, son, I always had a plan A and a plan B. My plan A was that I was going to be, at first I wanted to be a lawyer. And I said, no, I want to be a pharmacist. I said, I'm going to be a pharmacist and this and that. But if that don't work out, I said, football was my plan B. I said, I played football if I wasn't going to do nothing else. But I really just wanted to be a pharmacist because I just grew up seeing the pharmacist in my time. He was a nice guy. And I used to have asthma and all this stuff. He took care of me. I said, man, that's the kind of doctor I want to be one day, And that's how I grew up. That's a role model too.
That is
so that's kind of how I got away from football. I just decided I didn't want to play anymore. And then my son ended up getting injured. He was also amazing here in Memphis in football, but he got injured. And then they were going, when he got to college, they wanted to move him to a different position. Like, no, I don't want to do it on my dad. I'm going to be a surgeon. I said, hey, that's a great plan B. That's a great plan B.
Awesome plan. I don't want to gloss over what you said about your mom and everything. I'm sorry. I sad to hear stories like that, but there's so many moms and so many women, especially at that time, that had to escape to make a way for the children and to do different things they were legit, different things just to make a way because the love they have for their children and we're gonna see it go,
And then we stay there for a minute. I'm fine with talking about it because I talked to other people about it before. But one of the things that I noticed about my mom as I reflect and I look back, I said she stayed way too long. And it's so amazing because my mom, she's like, you were 2 at the time. How could you remember all this? But I had written out a whole, matter of fact, it's still on my phone. I wrote out a whole thing about everything that happened while I was 2 years old that I could remember. And she was like, oh my God, you remember all of that? I was like, yeah, I remember all of that. But for the grace of God, that could have been so tragic and traumatic in my life that I went a different direction.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
You see?
I want to talk because a lot of things that we try not to be and we say we're never going to do this. It end up, especially with you mapping out or drawing this out of my mind and I see it like playing out. A lot of guys that grow, even though he was not in your life, you heard about it and you say, I'm never going to be like that. It still somehow ends up where you have some anger issues.
Sure do.
You have some control issues. You don't like win for some reason.
There'll be something.
They'll
sneak his ugly head up, And truth be told, throughout my life, some of those things snuck their ugly head up. It being young and having a bunch of girlfriends, if you want to call them girlfriends, being out there ripping and running. The kids say, now you're out in them streets. You was out there doing all that, just drinking and kicking it all the time. And I'm like, whoa, this is not what you wanted for your life. Even though you're still on your path, doing good, you're doing too much, So I had to calm down. I had another mentor here, Bobby Thomas.
I love it. Just talked to the other day.
Yes,
he wants to go to lunch.
I saw him at Lamar on last year. We're doing an event there, and me and him been trying to get lunch together. Get us together. We keep missing each other.
Yeah, okay. I'll get it together because he was very influential in my finishing pharmacy school.
Exactly.
And that's Bobby. After us.
That's Bobby. He looked after us.
And he could have been gone before I got there. But he stayed until we finished. And I feel like he was a God seed.
That's him. That's his mission. That was his mission. And I told him, I said, he always calls his sons or my little brothers and everything. I said, man, you was more like a big uncle to me than I ever had, man. He was amazing.
He was a big uncle, a friend, a mentor, everything. And you know what's so big? And I never will forget. That's why I try to invite him to things.
Yeah.
He was big when I was getting married. He was big when I was graduating. Him and Lucy would come over to the house. He was so happy for any little thing that we did. Any little thing you did, he celebrated. And then if I put myself down, I say, I'm not gonna make. He'd be like, come in the office.
Yeah, he had to sit down. Yeah.
Or we're not gonna talk about it now. But he's so strong. Like he talked about his history with UT and things that happened, and he still persevered.
Right.
I love that you brought him up.
He big 6'5" teddy bear.
Yeah.
That big old baritone voice, and saying words this long.
Yeah.
I said, he
Proud of
was
him.
man, so proud about it. Because he did it for so many people, so many of us coming through pharmacy school. Because when my class came through UT in '93, we entered the class. We had the largest class of they had African Americans in at the time. There were 78 students, I think. We had 11 black folk.
Okay.
That was the largest ever at the time.
We had 125 and 13, I think, or 14.
See, and you all came along after us, yeah. So, but Bobby was right there from the time we got in. He was like, "You all stay together, stick together, help each other."
Yes.
And we were like this. When my god brother, I convinced him to come to pharmacy school. Bobby was right there, talking to him, telling him the same thing to do with the folks who were there then. Hey, you all stick together, you all stay together, you all don't click off, because that's sometimes how we get. We start being accepted, and we start acting like we exceptional. We start sliding away from each other. No, y'all stick together so you all can make it through. Because when we all come through, then you open up the doors for other folks.
Yes.
And that's what's so important. So, and our community needs to realize that a lot more.
We need to make sure we're making a voice for that. I know with NAPA, I was doing a lot with NAPA, and this year has been a blur. This past year, from last April to now, it's been a blur. We used to do a lot of volunteerism, and you would come out to our church and stuff in different locations. So we want to start back doing that.
Right.
But we do need to have voices instead of just being a presence.
Yeah.
We need to have a voice.
That's right.
And I like that. And so we need to get out of our own way when we say, okay, I don't want to share these things. We do have to be more vocal because we never know who it's going to affect. So, of course, we talk about so many things. I want to talk about real quick your heart, your passion for community outreach.
Yeah.
And the things that you do. And because there might be some people that probably want to volunteer, or if you have a call or a challenge that you want somebody to get in, or later on your whatever, your community outreach, your mentorship. We talked about who helped you, but the people that you've been helping. Yeah.
So with ShotRx, number one, our whole mission is community. So everything we do is out in the community. We do have a standalone clinic. That's a family practice clinic. It's beautiful and everything else. But a lot of what I love and what we do is we're in the community. So we have these two beautiful RVs that do everything, like walk into a regular doctor's office, and we can show up anywhere. So we go, we have healthcare for the homeless that we're doing with Shelby County Health Department, where we're actually providing free health care to homeless folks out here that are unsheltered on the street. Memphis has a large problem with homelessness and hunger. So we're always in the top 10, seems like, in both of those areas. So especially with children. So we're out there and we're providing health care for them, medications for them right there on the spot. We are doing vaccinations for them right there. That is a huge program that Shelby County Health Department said we want to invest in helping those who are unsheltered. So they put out a call for those who would help. We don't know the ones that can.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of like Room in the Inn. Room in the Inn is another big thing that helps the homeless out here. Our organization help the homeless.
We donated to them.
And,
My book club.
They're amazing. So you have this network of churches who open up their doors to help. Room in the Inn is the one large recuperative care facility over off of Ayers. But then they have the churches who come together and during the winter months open up their doors to take care of the homeless, let them come in at night and sleep in the church.
Okay.
Now, Memphis got 3,800 churches.
Yeah.
Why only 38 churches participate?
Yeah.
I got a problem.
We gotta get better.
We got to get better. So all these churches who have all these wonderful facilities and want to do something, let's do something. Let's participate with Room in the Inn, and let's help those who are homeless have somewhere to stay during the coldest months of the year.
Yeah.
It's just it's November through March is when we do it. Our church, St. Paul, we do it. We choose Monday nights to be our night. Every church picks a night that they can do, so you don't even have to do every night. So our church does Monday nights. So we do Monday nights, November through March, and we take care of the folks.
I like that. So we did. We knew what what their goal was. So I have a book club. It's women, professional women, and we meet every month. And so one of our things that I myself and one of my friends put into it is that we're gonna bring a pool of money and donate to a different organization every time we do that, because we're coming to eat and have a good time, but we're professionals, so let's do something, even if it's a little bit. So that's right, to make it like
if everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot.
That's true.
So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we're doing that, Shelby County Healthcare for the Homeless. We're doing that. We go to any church, any school that's having any event, whether it's a health fair event. They may be having like Kojic was doing their convocation here and everything. We went there, had outreach there and everything. everything. I actually spoke at one of the breakout sessions and everything about vaccinations in the church and everything else. So we're doing those types of things in the community. Actually, Dr. America, she's actually in the process now of starting a clothes closet. She wants to do a clothes closet. We're seeing the homeless out here. I'm like, man, we need to be able to get them some clothing and things like that. So she's developing that right now. So there's going to be something else coming up in the future and everything. So we just really, and a lot of people like, no, there's no way, man. We literally pray about what it is, God, you want us to do next. And then we just prepare ourselves for whatever he shows up at the door with. And that's one of the things that shows up at the door.
Willing, able, and ready.
I learned a long time ago, I can't be almost obedient. I told you, being almost obedient, I learned that ain't good enough. You got to be all the way obedient. Yeah. And when you do, he just takes care of everything. He gives you the project, he gives you the vision, then he makes provision for it all. So I'm good with that.
That's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't allow that. They don't open up to themselves to allow him to be the provider.
Right.
But I love that you said that. So here's the other thing. You one of my things that I want to do. I kind of did it. Pfizer was help sponsor a few years before COVID, of course. Right. And I had 3 good solid years where I was doing mobile mission clinics because my heart is mission trips. And so we had it here for people that did not have transportation. So, but we had everything there. We would have the blood pressure, the diabetes education, the vaccinations, the spiritual people too. So it's like a local mobile mission trip. And so I want to start back doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
You just said
that's
that.
Awesome. We're going to participate when you do it. So
do you have volunteers come?
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
All you do is call the number 901-779-6500 if you want to volunteer at any of the outreach events that we do. We have, of course, Dr. America Lyons is there. She's either going to get the phone call and she'll tell you, or we also have a scheduling administrator, Robbie. She'll grab it and she'll let you know where we'll be, and we'll get you in and let you know, hey, this is where we're going. This is how you can help out. Things like that. There's some where we can't let you come to, like when we do some of the women's shelters, even I don't go. I just let the ladies on the team go because that's a special, segment, a sector of the area of the people who have needs. And so that's one of the great things about us. We're not only an African-American company, we're African-American and woman-owned company because my wife a whole woman.
Yes.
She's going to take care of them.
Before we go on and let you tell about Charlotte, tell people where to go on the website, I want to talk about this real quick because it's a question. You can answer it any way you want to because I feel that we can't do things alone. I feel that we have to, closed mouths don't get fed. Yeah. But I also feel that a good support system behind you is really the energizer to what you're doing. Do you feel like you would be doing as great as you are if it wasn't for your wife and family support?
No way. There's no way possible. That's not even a thought for me. And she and I've had these conversations several times, she knows exactly where her lane is. I know exactly what my lane is.
That's good.
And so I try not to go in hers, and she showed up don't want to be in mine. She said, you ain't have to worry about me attempting to come over there. So there was a book years ago. I think it was called Mission Possible was the name of the book. And the book, the guy talks about how if you're going to have a world-winning organization, you got to have 2 types of people, those who are visionaries and those who are operations.
Yes.
Now, even though visionaries can do operations, they shouldn't. Okay. Not all the time.
Yeah.
And even though operations folks may have a good thought from time to time, don't try to become a visionary.
It's so true.
My wife has always been an amazing pharmacy manager, amazing pharmacy supervisor. She can run it. She knows that day. This is what we're gonna do. That's her. But when it comes to vision, don't ask me about where we should do this and how we're going to turn in about 2 more years and do that. I've always been a visionary with good operational skills, but that ain't my favorite thing to do. So I will see it, visualize it, come back to the present, put it together, and then say, now you put all the little meat on the bones that I just gave you right there, and we're going to go that direction. And that's what we did with Shot RX. See it, put it together, put the meat on the bones, tweak it. Now I leave that alone and continue this. When y'all need me to do this, I do that. And then I keep on doing the next thing. So the next thing was healthcare for the homeless. And then the next thing was this other thing we got going. I can't tell you about it. Another thing was it. So
when you come back, maybe you'll tell me about it.
I'll tell you then. So that's, there's no way we could do it without each other, And the Bible tells you that where one can slay 1,000, 2, 10,000. I like God's math. He got bad math. He multiplies when we add. It ain't ain't 2,000, it's 10. So together with a partner, y'all back to back, gripping the dirt, y'all can take over everything. So that's how we been.
Good. So like one of the things that I'm very happy for this my podcast is that I thought it's gonna be difficult to get men on. And even if the person that's supposed to watch it is not watching now, then maybe they have access to it later.
Right.
And I love that. I've been blessed to have some great enthusiastic, energetic, and people that motivating men on in addition to the women, not just moms. It's been dads and husbands and entrepreneurs that have drive and have lessons that they learned that they are not ashamed to share. They're vulnerable to share. And I thank you for doing that and taking time. First of all, for taking time and making time and coming on and sharing what you want to share and being excited about it. I felt your excitement through the emails.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate it. So before we go into ShotRx contact, some of the things that make you keep going and that make you say when you wake up, okay, because you can say, whatever, I'm going to keep my hands off of it and let this be somebody else running. But you're very actively involved. What's that? And what's some tips or advice you can give to somebody that it's not going well for them? They don't have the support. They don't have a wife. They want to take the losses from the lessons, but they too fearful to do it.
Yeah. And that's one of the, I'm glad you ended with fear because this is where you got started. You have to get over the barrier of fear. Okay, first of all, you talk about being successful. You talk about, how am I going to make this vision I have come to fruition? I got to get over the fear. I got to go ahead and start taking those steps. Now, you don't just run out there, though.
Right.
I talked to someone today, and I mentor a lot of people behind the scenes, and I love it.
That's great.
Because they'll come, and God will send them to me, and we'll have this conversation. Now I get to see them 3, 4, 5, 6 years later. They flying high.
You being Bobby Thomas
because he was there to me. That's exactly it. He was there to me, and that's one of the reasons why I do it. So I talked to a young lady today, and Eric was in there. We're talking with her, and we're like, "Yeah, you're gonna do this, and then this is what you're gonna do. Today, when you leave here, you will A, B, C, E." And so she's like, "As soon as I leave, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna send it to you." I said, "Then after that, you're gonna you put it in place. You find someone who can mentor you." And you have the mentee that you are now invested in, and you say, "Hey, I'm going to spend this time pouring into you. I may not ever get back out what I think I'm going to get back out as far as seeing you become CEO, seeing you become the teacher you want to be, the professor you want, whatever. But I got a feeling you're going to be better off than you would have been." And that's where I find joy. I find joy in, man, that young lady was about to make a terrible turn. And we sat down, we had a conversation. Now they back on the path. And whether they get to where we thought they were going to make it or not, they just ain't where they would have been. Right. You see, and that's the joy for me. That's what keeps me going every day. That's what gives me a little bit more strength. I promise you, I get tired about let's go ahead and push some more.
But it's rewarding to your center too. So I love that. And much love to America. I hope she comes on one time. I know she likes to be behind the scenes, but much love to her too. And I thank both of you all. I definitely need you all to come. You all can come back as a duo. We could do something.
Whatever.
But when I get some time, I'm going to try to come volunteer. You can tell the people where to go for ShotRx, the phone number, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And we'll talk
soon. So right here, ShotRx, you go to shotrx901.com. On there, you'll see everything on the site, everything we do. You can actually click on there, make appointments, everything else, even schedule for us to come out and do healthcare for the homeless or anything else in your neighborhood. The phone number is 901-779-6500, 901-779-6500. As I always say, don't make excuses, make the adjustments.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for being here, Ted. And thank you all for watching. I hope you gathered and gained something from our interaction, because I certainly did. Tune in, subscribe, like, share, do all those things. And thanks for watching. ShotRx is a full-service family clinic right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Get your well child visits, physicals, vaccinations, B12 shots, and more. Visit shotrx901.com. or call 901-779-6500. Welcome to care and compassion. Welcome to ShotRx.